Hello everyone, this is Ashish and I'm having with me as always Komal Ashish. Welcome to Torq Fire Podcast, and today we are having a guest, Nikita Tanwani, who is Miss Andhra. She is also an engineer, quit her job, and now she's a full-time model, has competed in pageants. We are going to shed some light in this field, the field of modeling. As you know, Komal is also pursuing the same field.
Yeah.
It is a career that is very rarely talked properly about, and we are going to discuss that one by one.
Yeah.
Nikita, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Ashish, hi Komal. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, we are so glad.
Yes.
Yeah, Nikita is one of the person you'll find very authentic, very raw, very, original. Just check out her YouTube channel and you'll get to know that you were saying correct, Komal.
Yeah, she is actually doing a lot of work in that domain, educating a lot of people in that field. Actually, that is how we came across that. As I said, Komal is working in that field, trying to get into that, and she came across her videos and bench watched those videos again and again in a row.
Yeah.
And that is why she was watching it on speaker, and I heard her speaking, Nikita speaking, and I thought that she can be a great guest. Honestly, Nikita, we did not expect that it will turn out. We dropped a mail. Luckily, you responded the next day, and we got here, and it is good that we can finally do it.
Yeah.
Yes, Nikita.
Yay, I'm so happy I saw your email because I was thinking about podcast episodes anyway, and I think 2 days before I saw your guys' email, I had been thinking about I want to do an episode like this on YouTube because I've been seeing so many channels do that these days. And then I saw Komal's email and it just felt like that, sometimes you're thinking about something and the very next day or the day after that you see a message or a sign from the universe. I was like, I have to say yes to this.
Yes, that worked out.
Calling from the universe.
Okay, so what we are going to do, your journey is very, very interesting. That was like Komal was talking about it one by one, and I said that it is very fascinating, and those are the kind of people I want in the podcast so that people get some experiences, people get to know that these people also exist. So we are going to get in that one by one. So actually your schooling initially started in US,
Yes.
right?
So I was born in India, but when I was less than a year old, my family moved to America because my dad had a transferable job. And so I spent the next 6-7 years in America. So that was my early childhood.
Yeah. And somewhere close to 2001 or so, you guys came back to India and rest of your schooling continued over there. You got into BITS Pilani, and that's also in electronics and instrumentation. And I still remember I'm also a senior secondary pass out of 2012 only, and I still remember there's a percentage category, like you have to have at least 80% in your 12th board to even be eligible for that. So I got 75% and I said it is not for me.
Yeah, how much did Nikita get?
95.212.
That is what I'm saying, like brainiacs are getting into modeling, like she's also 90% or so. Okay, that's good. So you cracked that BITS Pilani examination. Pilani is the main center. There's one in Goa also. There's one in Hyderabad also.
Yes.
Right? So you joined over there. At that time, were you having any idea that you'll be getting into this field?
I don't think I ever expected myself to be in this field where I am now. But when I was in 10th standard and my parents asked me, do you want to take science or maths? I said, मुझे arts लेना है because मुझे modeling करनी है. So from a very young age, I knew it. I knew I wanted to do modeling. Even in school, we had a fashion show. I participated. Even in college, I was in the fashion club. I was always more involved in fashion shows than academics actually. And my CGPA dropped really badly in the semester where I was involved in that. So I always wanted to do it. In fact, in college, I used to go to martial arts and I used to work out in the gym just so that if ever I get the opportunity, I should be fit enough. So I was, I think, subconsciously manifesting it. But then when I graduated and I came to Hyderabad, by that time I thought I'm too old to start modeling. It's not like I didn't want to. But then someone, a senior of mine from college, in fact, I saw her working in Pune Times Fashion Week. And I thought, wait, she's my senior. If she can start modeling after college, from the same college, so then I can do that too. So 6 months after I joined my job in Hyderabad, I started freelance modeling because I saw that it was possible. So I always wanted to do it.
So Nikita, you were interested in humanities and arts, but then how come you entered into science? Because you were an engineer, right?
Peer pressure.
That's what her parents told her.
Exactly.
Because of parents?
I had no interest in studying.
Yeah. All right, Nikita, tell me one thing very interesting. You got into martial arts in your college?
Yes, I used to go for taekwondo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You got some belts?
No, I did not actually even join the team because I was too scared to get hurt. I have a very funny story to share about that actually. So I used to go for the regular training and the coach asked me to become a part of the girls team because they had very few girls in the girls team. But I said, no, I'm too scared. Isme lagbhag jayegi. I'll break some bones. I don't want to do that. And my face, I don't want to get injured. Then one day during the sports fest, they couldn't find anyone to participate in the under 46 kg category. So I got a call.
That is also a project, no?
Yes.
Project Shield, BWAP, that kind of thing.
Is it? Now explain a little bit about that. What did you do?
So BWAP stands for Beauty with a Purpose, and the Project Shield that I initiated was my project, which focuses on imparting self-defense techniques to women. And just because safety of women in this country is a joke right now, honestly. And so I really wanted to do something about it. Like, I think every female has faced this. So it's relatable to a lot of people. And I thought that anything other than that, like when we were thinking about what should be the cause that I stand for, I thought I don't connect to anything more strongly than women's safety. And so I decided that I would tie up with a martial arts academy in Hyderabad. And together we would, because I'm not a professional martial artist or something, but I do have some experience. And I remembered like in college, they used to teach us just like if a guy attacks you, this is what you can do. And even after that, we know that biologically women are not stronger than men. If 4 guys come and attack a female, no matter how much self-defense you know, you will still struggle to protect yourself. And so it's not just women who have to be prepared, also men. So we also included like boys in those classes. Because when you talk about the problems in the society, sometimes I've noticed in families where, say, you're a single child and you're a boy. If you don't have a sister, you are so unaware of the problems that females face. So we try to talk about those things also in the sessions that we were conducting, so that as a boy, like the generation that is growing up, you don't have to just learn self-defense. The boys should also learn how to protect their female friends, their female colleagues, and understand that this is an actual problem.
Yeah.
So that was my project.
All right, Nikita. So what I saw is that you saw a problem over there that girls are not able to defend them. So here's, like, I'm also a martial artist. If you don't know, I'm a black belt in Shotokan Karate. So I've done it my entire life. Yeah. So that is why I'm having experience. And me and Komal has talked a lot about how girls should get into martial arts. So we are in the same domain, same page. Right now, I'm having a question for you. Here's a problem. What most people think is that martial art might not be sufficient for you to defend yourself, right? So when you were over there trying to solve a problem, why did you think that martial art can actually solve that problem? Because you have done taekwondo. When you did, let us say, 2 months of taekwondo, did you feel that it is actually practically applicable?
To give my honest opinion, I don't think what I was learning in those classes that's not exactly how someone's going to attack me. And I need to be like prepared. So that is why in those sessions, we were talking about self-defense. But then also I think more than being prepared, it gives you the confidence that when you're outside, you don't feel helpless, you know something. But then apart from that, we would also, educate the girls and the boys about apps, the fact that you should carry pepper spray and pocket knives. And it is sad that women have to do that, but I would say do that. Have SOS numbers on your phone. And there are so many apps where you can send emergency notifications. So we talked about everything. Because I know for a fact martial arts in reality might not be helpful. Sometimes you won't be able to just protect yourself based on those skills. And not everyone is that, experienced or that practiced enough also. We are giving some self-defense sessions. We are not training them to be professional martial artists, obviously.
Yeah, I've been talking about the same to Ashish one day, and then he introduced me to this jujutsu. He said this is practically applicable. You can defend yourself using jujutsu.
I would love to know more about that.
That is why I got out of this karate after black belt. I did not train further because there are 10 levels to black belt also. I think that those traditional martial arts are not that applicable. I've done taekwondo also, and the same goes with taekwondo also. What is the speciality about jiu-jitsu, no? So there's a person called Mitsuyo Maeda who was in Japan, and he basically traveled throughout the world And he also knew that a particular traditional martial art is not going to be sufficient for a one-on-one or one-to-many combat. So he has gone to Brazil, then he has even gone to America, mixed it with boxing, mixed it with wrestling. Yeah. And in 1993, something very striking happened, is that a 70 kg jiu-jitsu person was defeating a 110 kg wrestler. So that shocked the world. So it is a general saying that a bigger martial artist is always going to defeat a smaller martial artist. So size does matter. If both are educated, then a bigger person has the advantage. Yeah. But the technique has, if that is in almost a scientific level, if you know that, then it will be much more helpful. So jiu-jitsu is one of that martial art. And to be honest, India does not have a fair share of jiu-jitsu. So I had one trainer who was from Brazil actually. And because of lockdown, he actually moved back. So he was a black belt. India does not really have black belts who are really trained in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. So that is why it is a little bit scarce over here. Yeah. But something is better than nothing. If you're trained, that gives you a fitness, that gives you a confidence. Yeah. And like you rightly said, that it is a lot about confidence. So that is what happened with Komal once. We have discussed this in podcast. Now once she was in a cab and the map was not working actually. And I was having the location and the cab was going completely opposite direction.
And that was near airport, Airport Delhi is airport. Completely aloof and completely isolated place. So he was going in another direction.
Actually, we found out later that it was a problem with the app. But obviously, we will be scared to death in that situation. It was 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, right? And we hear these cases. So Komal was so scared at that point, that she was not able to talk to me. Forget about fighting. She was not able to talk to me over call. She was shaking. So that is when we decided that we need to get her into martial arts also. The next day, we ordered a pepper spray for her and all those good stuff. All right.
So now I'm into martial art. I can literally defend myself because he's teaching me jiu-jitsu and all. And those are literally practical moves. You can easily use them when someone is attacking you, if someone is trying to molest you or anything. Yeah. It would seriously help. I think you should also include that in your project.
I'm saying, Ashish, I need to be your student. Please teach me.
Yeah. See, that is your cause. So obviously you did your job, but if that is your cause in future also, try exploring other martial arts also. It will definitely
yeah.
All right. Okay. That was something that all of a sudden started.
Yeah, martial art was something just came out of blue.
Yeah, because that is always striking to me.
I didn't know that you were trained in jiu-jitsu. So that was like such a new thing. And I'm so interested actually because I've been doing it since college, thoda. So like when I'm coming to Bangalore, we're definitely learning some moves.
So I'm not trained in jiu-jitsu. So after karate, I got a little bit into taekwondo, then a little bit into boxing. Then finally, when I got into Bangalore, I joined a mixed martial arts gym. So there was a jiu-jitsu trainer. So I've not earned belt or anything because of lockdown. So jiu-jitsu is a very close combat, right? So COVID is the worst enemy of jiu-jitsu. So the first thing they did is kill jiu-jitsu, right? That is the problem. Yeah. But I want to get a belt in that in future.
Yeah. Like we are thinking to take some courses also.
Yeah, there are some online also. There's some online also.
Yeah.
So there's one, I think his name is Renner Gracie. So he's running a Gracie Academy, but it is super costly. Like I went through it. It is costing close to 12,000 or 13,000, close to that per month. So like we have to save some money to learn that.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing.
But you can learn it online also. You'll be having many YouTube
if you have a partner,
teaching it.
then you
I'm
can
definitely searching.
Yeah. Just come to Bangalore. We'll practice some moves.
Yeah. All right. So one by one, we are going to get to the next one. We were at the part of her college.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you got your job. How was it like working in a job?
It was fun actually. I think the first year I really enjoyed my job. So at Oracle, I was a front-end app developer. And I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the problem solving aspect of it. But then I think after that first year in that job, my interests actually started shifting because I was more focused at TGPC. And then I went for pageant grooming at Cocoberry in Mumbai. And so then I started moving back and forth between Hyderabad and Mumbai for my future Miss India preparation and then everything. So I think my team, my manager, everyone at office knew that her interests are not really, she's not 100% focused at work and she keeps going back and forth. She keeps traveling. So I think I worked for a total of 3 years at Oracle, out of which the first year I was very focused and dedicated. And then the next 2 years were...
Were you a coder? Like you said front end, right?
Yes, I coded, but just the front end part. So JavaScript, HTML, Node, React, that was the frameworks that we used to work with.
So you said about some online pageant which you call TGPC, right?
I had the same question.
Yeah. So what is it all about? Explain a little bit.
And also the direction of TGPC, how it is different from Miss India.
Okay. So TGPC stands for the Great Pageant Community. And the origin of this pageant is, so the founders of this pageant used to be, say, pageant bloggers at another pageant forum. And then they came up with the idea of an online pageant. And so that is how they started having multiple seasons of it. Now TGPC is, say, Miss India and Miss Diva are like the 2 biggest national pageants in India. But there are a lot of local, smaller scale pageants as well. TGPC is one of those smaller pageants, but the only and the first online pageant in India. So a lot of girls who live in, say, not in metro cities, they can't always travel to Mumbai. A lot of families are not supportive of their pageant dreams particularly. So TGPC has always been that platform. And the founders, the mentors that you get at TGPC are just amazing at what they do. And so since season 1 itself, whoever ends up winning this pageant has always been winning at Miss India and Miss Diva. And so we've seen those faces do really well at the national pageants as well. And so that is how TGPC, like, say, earned its reputation. With every season, the quality of the contestants was getting better. And then TGPC winners were becoming state winners or national level winners at, say, Miss India and Miss Diva, the national pageants. And so the direction for TGPC is that if you plan on getting into a national pageant, but you want to compete at a smaller level just to feel like more prepared and get some more confidence beforehand. So I think it's a great platform. They don't have any height criteria. They don't have any age criteria.
Yeah.
Amazing. So like that, that opens up the doors to so many new women. If you're not eligible in, say, the national pageants because of height reasons, go for TGPC and you will still get a lot of exposure. Like the platform is great. Just the whole TGPC family. So once you have participated in TGPC, they give you a title, say, TGPC ki beti is a hashtag. And before I participated in the pageant, I used to think, what is this beti thing? And now it's been, say, around 2-3 years since I won season 5. And I still call the founders of that pageant Papa. So that is how close we are. So it's actually a family. So they were not like exaggerating when they said that you're like our daughters. That's exactly how they treat you. So I think it's like great for anyone who wants to get into pageants, but just compete at a smaller level to get more prepared.
But what is the opportunities, work opportunities after, if suppose you win TGPC, what are the work opportunities someone goes into that sees?
So once you win TGPC, one of the best things that you get as a reward is all the top 3 winners at TGPC get free training by Alicia and Anjali Raut at Cocoberry, which is one of the best pageant training institutes in the country. And pageant coaching is very expensive. So for a lot of girls, that is one of the things, the expense is something that stops you from actually, paying for it yourself and going. But then if you win TGPC, not just do you get great mentorship, you get a great community. I learned so much about pageantry because of the people I met through TGPC, because not all of us have friends or family or a network that, has pageant people in it or people from the modeling industry. So you need someone to tell you how to go about these things, how to prepare, who is the best coach. I did not know what Cocoberry is before I registered for TGPC. I had no idea what is going on in the pageant world. So one of the things is the free grooming sessions that you get. And not just that, they also get you, say you can be the jury at other pageants. Like they also give you a lot of exposure as their title holders. You get to work with a lot of designers. Dimple Amrin is a very famous designer. She has a studio in Mumbai. So you get free styling and grooming sessions with her as well. So they groom you overall, even after you have finished the pageant and won it. They will never stop mentoring you. So that is a thing. Like even in the list of rewards that TGPC writes, there is, say, free lifetime promotion on their social media channels, and not just promotion, also mentorship. I think that is the most priceless thing that they give you. So you get a lot of opportunities as models, as pageant juries, and also your own grooming and training for future pageants.
All right. You have something to ask?
You continue because
No,
I've been
no.
asking question continuously.
So that is how you got into the next level of Cocoberry and all? That is how you got there?
Yes.
All right.
Since I won season 5, so I got the opportunity to be groomed at Cocoberry, which is, say, around a 2-week course in Mumbai. But it's very expensive for, say, anyone who comes from a middle class background. Even if they ask you to pay, say, I don't know the fees right now, but back in my time, it was around 50, 60.
Yeah. So earlier it was 45k. Now they increased it from, I guess, from the April batch or March batch to 51k. And apart from that, you have to pay something. If you are new to Mumbai, you can live in their PG, then you have to pay extra. And then you have to pay some for heels and some extra materials they provide for, especially for pageant. I told you, no? Like Himali Doshi, I just forgot the name.
Yes,
What
that's
was the
the
name,
brand.
Nikita?
Himali Doshi is the heel brand, yes.
Yeah. So that's how things work over there.
All right. So this is a good way. Did you really know about TGPC before this?
TGPC, I knew that Nikita contested in that and she won that.
Okay.
But I didn't, and she got training from Alicia ma'am through TGPC only. But I didn't know the whole structure of TGPC. It was like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So is that when you quit your job?
No, I actually quit my job last year in June. That is a year after I finished
between
Miss
the
India. Yes, in the middle of lockdown, I quit my job. People thought I was crazy.
Okay. So you was Oracle all cool with that? You competing over there? No issues?
My team was very supportive, in fact. So there were multiple stages during the Miss India competition. First, I just auditioned in the city of Hyderabad. And then I also auditioned in Vizag through the state of Andhra Pradesh. So till that stage, there were no problems because I was not missing out on office. Then there was zonals where, the top 3 from every state goes to compete. And there I ended up winning the title of Miss Andhra Pradesh. So that was a 3-4 day event again in Bangalore. So for that, I could take leaves. Now the tricky part was when I had to go for the finale, which was a 40-day pageant in Mumbai. And now 40 days, utne leaves so you don't have when you're in an office. So I had to exhaust all of my leaves. I had to speak to my manager first of all, ki I'm competing at a national level. So I think by that time they had figured out ki she will do this. If we don't let her do it, then I would quit my job actually if they weren't going to let me go.
Yeah.
But they agreed to a certain arrangement where they said you exhaust all your leaves and on top of that you take a sabbatical. So I think Oracle was very supportive that way.
Yeah.
So that is how I was able to compete.
Like maybe you were competing at this national level and they got mesmerized that, okay, she's gonna take the company's name to
I think,
level.
is it good for the company also? Is it?
I think so, yes, because when I was walking on the stage during the finale and this whole show was streamed live on Colors TV. So they actually mentioned that she is an application engineer at Oracle. So Oracle's name is being announced at a stage like that on television. So I'm sure that I was also bringing them something. So yeah, I was actually, even when I went back to office after Miss India, everybody was quite happy and proud. But then something that happened is while I was in Miss India during May, June, that was the promotion cycle. So I missed out on my promotion, which I was supposed to get.
All right.
But you must have gotten
Doesn't matter when you are already ready to leave a job. No, promotion does not really matter, right? So
I did feel bad though. I mean, I still felt bad because I wanted to have everything. I wanted that also. I wanted this also.
Okay. No, that is a problem. So Karthik sir, who was over here few episodes back, he's a photographer.
Over here in Bangalore.
He was also, he's actually also worked for 10 years in IT sector only. So he was giving an example that one of his friends actually went for Miss India and actually won it. And then she came back to working in corporate only because that is what she wanted to do for the rest of her life. Yeah. So that is also possible. All right. So that is all very good. Then why did you actually feel the need to quit finally?
That's a very interesting question. My parents asked me that so many times. And first, the thing is, I quit my job during lockdown. So I think that shows that the kind of thoughts I was having. I think lockdown actually gave us a lot of time to sit down and introspect. But it wasn't a very rash decision. Mostly I had been wanting to quit my job for a year. And I actually did it like 1 year after I had the thought for the first time. So originally I was supposed to quit in December of 2019. But then I waited it out another 6 months because there was a retention bonus. Honestly, the only reason I stayed in Oracle for the last 1 year was for that bonus money.
All right.
Makes sense. If you're going to quit your job, might as well have like a financial backing. But I think the thoughts that I was having was, what started happening after 2-3 years is there were so many opportunities that I could just no longer do freelance modeling on the weekend because I kept getting shoots between Monday to Friday, and there were so many opportunities I had to let go of.
Right.
I could not take up any acting opportunities because that is not a one-day thing. That's obviously a multiple-day shoot. And I cannot even say yes or even consider an acting opportunity. And I did want to explore acting also after like 3 years. So there were a lot of reasons, and it was just not making me happy anymore. So during lockdown, I actually came to terms with the fact that either this is the right time and age for me to take this risk if I have to, because nobody's really dependent on me right now. The more you wait, age does matter in this profession. And also after a certain age, say after 30, I don't think I would take the risk of just quitting my job. So let's just do that right now, because at the age of 30 or 35, I don't want to have regrets.
Yeah.
And so honestly, this is what I've done. I've just taken that leap of faith. And let's see how it goes. I can't say I'm 100% certain this will work out, but then you always have to take certain risks. Yeah. And I thought, if not now, then when do I take it?
Yeah.
So that's what I've done.
Yeah, same happens with me. No, sometimes people think that why you are doing it full time, like you should take it just backup or part time. Like, it does not happen. You never know. Like, sometimes your phone rings and they are telling you to come after 1 hour, and maybe you are getting good money. So
shoot is next
you
day.
You can't say no.
That
and
also happens.
Shoot is next day, and you have to travel suddenly. So I don't think so things work that smoothly if someone is taking it as backup.
That is why I told you to not take that contract, leave it. So she left the job somewhere around October because it was not possible to balance it all. Yeah. So if we are going to do it full time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me, one interesting question came into my head. So actually the work in modeling industry or any industry in general was the minimum during the lockdown, right? So did that not scare you, that work is like, I've known people who did not get work literally for months and months in that time. So weren't you seeing that it is very unstable kind of work, and exactly then only you left your job?
Yes. So in fact, when I told my manager at Oracle that I'm quitting, and this was in the middle of lockdown, June, nothing had even opened up. So that was the first thing he asked me, are you even having any modeling assignments? Why are you quitting? But by that time, I had just made up my mind that even if I'm not getting money right now, one of my colleagues actually gave me this analogy. He said, तूने क्या कर रखा है? 2 नाव में पैर रखे हैं अभी तुमने. And you're trying to succeed at both. So something I had realized is, at work, I did not want to get promoted anymore because I realized that with promotions comes a lot more responsibility. I got promoted after Miss India, but I realized it became even more difficult to handle modeling and job after my promotion. I'm not working hard at office to avoid getting promoted too much. And in modeling, where I want to succeed, I'm not able to, because you have to give your full dedication to it. So yes, money and like stability is important, which is why I stayed for the bonus, and I made sure that I have enough savings and backing to last me like a few years. And after that, it wasn't a rash decision. You have to be very practical. You have to weigh the pros and cons. But at that time, I thought, abhi sirf 2-3 months ke liye, just to have a decent salary, if I don't make that jump, now sometimes you have to do it at the right time. When your heart tells you that this is it, this is what you have to do. And so that is why I started YouTube. Because YouTube is something that is in my control. Modeling is something that is not entirely in my control. Sometimes you don't get assignments because of your nose, your lips, so many things. After a certain age, obviously modeling age does play a role. So I know that already. So the sooner I quit, the better. And secondly, just do it. As in, you have to show the universe how badly you want things. That is when you get opportunities. You can't just sit and wait and say कि अभी तो कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है, so इसलिए मैं job कर लूंगी. It just felt like that to me. That if I show the universe that I really care and I'm willing to take that risk, so things will happen. And actually, in the 6 months after I quit my job, I got more work than I had ever gotten in the last 2 years. One, because I was available full time. And lockdown did not seem to hamper too many things. It's just that when you're in the job, you keep thinking, अरे नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. But after 2 weeks, I was in full, I was packed with work. So I thought, it was all my fears in my head actually. You just have to jump into it.
Yeah, lovely to hear such story, like so different. Otherwise, people from like quitting their job in lockdown, they're complaining, oh, why did I quit my job?
I like the fact that everyone, like we have had a lot of people who have quit their job, and we have also done that. But
And
I
we
like
love those people.
I like this one thing which is common, that everyone who quits the job says the same thing, that have proper saving, that even if you don't get anything, you can have something to fall on for some time, because it will take some time for you to build whatever you're trying to build, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. One thing very interesting, I've heard you saying this a couple of times, like, do you believe a lot on law of attraction and secret and all those things? Because you have said this universe thing couple of times.
I do. I believe in it so much. And I've read the book Secret. When I was in college, I read that book. And I thought it was not true. I did not believe in it. But when I started modeling, I realized that sometimes things start happening to you. Like, say, I wanted to become a model since the age of 16. It's been 10 years since I had that dream. And now finally... So like in hindsight, I think when I started looking back on my own journey through pageantry is when I realized that a lot of the things that I had been doing in college, working out, learning makeup, watching YouTube, all of these things had been happening 5-7 years in advance. It's just that it all came together now. So that made me believe in the law of attraction. And then I always feel like if you don't show the universe or something like, I really want this, you have to respect opportunities, and then opportunities come to you. You can't sit and wait for them. So you have to first prepare yourself, and then you start getting opportunities. You can't say, Abhi, I don't have to work out because I don't have any modeling opportunities. No, you have to work on yourself first. So I implemented it and I saw it convert into actual output. So I think that kind of experience changed me and I started believing in it.
Yeah, so the concept is basically whatever you're seeking for is seeking you. That is the concept, no?
Yes.
It was in that movie, no? Shah Rukh Khan movie.
Yeah. Om Shanti Om. That is in Hindi.
Kind of the same philosophy.
Yeah.
If you really wanted the entire universe conspires to get you over there. Okay. I cannot really leave this topic without covering few things important, because I've read the book as well by Rhonda Byrne. I've watched the documentary also, and I've also followed it for close to 3-4 years until I failed in couple of examinations and I said that it's all garbage. But I'm not against it. There are few things that people misunderstand about it. Like in the whole documentary or even the book, you will not see that much emphasis on how much work you have to put. That is not really discussed, and that is one point that you brought up. And other thing is that over there it is a lot about positivity, right? Be positive, positive things will happen, but they never talk about what to do when negative thoughts comes, because that is to a huge extent inevitable, right? So I think it is safe to say that you are kind of a practitioner over there. So can you put some light over there on these two things, that how much you have to put in the work and what to do in negative situations? Right.
So I agree with you. Negative thoughts sabko aate hain. Anyone who has taken any risk in life, I think it's just a very realistic thing that you will doubt yourself at some point, because first of all, social media, you see other people succeeding or you see the highlights of their life and you know that it's not your reality. So you start questioning everything. I think the only way to deal with it is try to remember why you started off in the first place. I think every time I doubt myself, I talk to my friends and I've told them already. See, whenever I say things like that, ki nahi, I should just go back to a job, which happened, say, last week. I told my friend, do you think I should just go back to a job? What am I doing? So they remind me, why did you start? And when I quit my job, I had this list of pros and cons. So it always helps for me to go back and see that list. And then it just reminds you, ki, this is why you quit. You might not feel, say, in control of your life right now and things are not going according to plan. But will going back to that job make you happy? And the answer is still no. Then the whole point of doing this is because you're chasing happiness. You're not chasing a different definition of success, because success means different things to everyone. So I think that's important to just know why you're doing this. Having purpose is very important. No matter what you do, actually, even if you start your own company, if you start a YouTube channel, I think that clarity of why you are doing what you're doing is important for any person. And the second thing that you said, manifesting is not just thinking or, creating an imagination. Obviously, I think manifesting is 50-50. You have to believe in it and you also have to put in the same amount of effort, because I think the universe is looking at your efforts, not at your thoughts.
Yeah. So believing in yourself, that is the key, right?
That is very important. It's something I honestly struggle with.
Yeah.
For that, I have other people in my life. They believe in me. I just do the work.
Yeah.
I think that's how I have my life figured out.
Yeah. So you brought a very interesting thing that I basically asked you how you cope with negative situations, and you said basically that you remind yourself of why you started. And that is also very important. Like when you embark in a journey, you have this big goals, big dreams, big ideas that I can achieve these things. And when life hits and the struggle comes and the hurdle comes, people start forgetting about those things. And in those moments, you need to remind yourself why you actually started.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I always call that believe in yourself. That is the must for anything. Not in if you are in pageant, if you are in any other competition, sports, anywhere you are. Self belief is most important, I think.
Thankfully and luckily, Nikita has a lot of people around her who is going to motivate her. That is someone who is very fortunate has that, and it is very good. But there are people in this world who really does not have people around them, and there's only one person who can stand by themselves, and that is that person himself or herself. That is that inner confidence that is very, very necessary. That is what I was talking about in yesterday's class, right?
Yeah, same happens to me. Look, Nikita, no matter how many times I'm getting rejected, no matter how many people are telling me you can't do it, I don't know why my heart does not say that you can't do it. There's a belief in my heart that you'll excel and you'll do it. I don't know, like even if I'm getting 100 rejections in a day, still my heart says it loud that you have that charm, you have that spark, that you can do it. I think that is self-belief.
So the basic principles of how to lead a good life is simple only, right? Different people have quoted in different ways, like maybe Secret is there, or maybe what was that book by that thick book?
Which one?
By a very famous one that is also talking about some law of attraction things only.
Okay.
Forgetting its name, but it is very, very famous. I'm going to put it over here, and people who are listening will be screaming to me right now, like, what? You forgot about this one? So the basic principles are same only, whether you believe in Secret, whether you believe in religion, whether you believe in spirituality. Basically, you have to have self-belief, you have to work your ass off, and you have to move in forward direction.
Yeah, religion and spirituality hits my mind that this year only question was asked from religion and spirituality.
Yeah, guys, if you are interested in pageants, do check Nikita's channel out. She has put a lot of information over there. Really good, crisp information. You're going to get a lot of them over there.
Yeah, that is gonna make your life very simple.
How's life being a YouTuber? Is it good? Having an audience, having a community?
Oh, the people, like the YouTube comments, I think they're so sweet. Or I don't know, people talk about hatred on social media. There are like 2 to 4 people that I know are haters. Like, मुझे नाम याद हो गया अब तो उनके.
Okay.
But I know my haters.
You did not block them?
Nah, because then they would see that I reacted to it. No, so I didn't want to give them that pleasure. I just see their messages and I ignore it.
But
and
you
I just
have
think
that
of
comment policy,
no?
You have that comment policy
we have read that
spread
also.
Positivity. But that was very nice, and I read them and go, oh God, what a positive soul she is.
We need to have something like that.
Yeah, I actually scold some people also. Like sometimes there are people who are spreading negativity in the comments, so I don't delete the comment or block them. I go and reply to it sometimes because I think somebody needs to tell them that this is not okay. And then sometimes I don't know, I also understand that the audience that is interacting with me on my channel is very young, so you can't really blame them. It's okay, everybody has like a growing process and a curve, right? So like you can't blame a 17-year-old for writing something on the internet, so you just go and explain it to them. So I think that's my approach to it.
Yeah, don't you think so? That is also a kind of reaction when you're not reacting to them and reacting to others.
Oh, no. So like,
that is true.
See, you understand whether it's coming.
Smart.
No, so honestly, I'll tell you, one of the meanest comments, and it took me a while to get over this particular type of category of comments, is on my YouTube, and not just on my own channel. I think there was this one time I collaborated with a chef, and on his video, there was a group, like a thread of 15 comments spreading hatred about me. And then there were other people who were supporting me in that thread. Something was going on. So I think there are people who have commented, and I'll put this out there, that you did not end up winning the pageant. So why are you teaching? And I think that was one of the meanest things I saw. And see, the fact that I did not win, it also affected me. It took me like a year to get out of that space, and to talk about things when you yourself question yourself is something that takes a while to get over. And then there are people on YouTube putting that same thing in your face again. And then like I had to talk to a lot of people in the, like say my mentors, I'm facing these comments, and it shakes your faith in yourself. How do you keep going when people are not willing to listen to you? So I think it's a learning process for both people, them also and you also.
So you have ever heard of this UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship, mixed martial arts? So this is basically a sport going on where two fighters fight. Women division, male division, both are there. So there are literally people who are going to post stuff on the fighters page the day after they lost. Like they literally got beaten down in front of everyone, and now they're posting as if you would have done better. So just like you are guiding when it comes to pageants, I'm guiding people when it comes to competitive examinations. And I have a rank of 1825 when it comes to GATE examination. And I guide people when it comes to GATE examination every now and then because I've qualified it 3 times. And there are people like, why are you guiding? You're not like rank 1, right? So it is so stupid. Like I've competed, I'm explaining you guys whatever I know. When did I claim to be rank 1? Or if only rank 1 can guide, then why aren't those over here on YouTube? Right?
And exactly. And if you don't want to listen to, say, so-and-so rank, then don't come to the channel. It's as simple as that. Don't come and spread hate there.
Yeah.
Apart from Nikita, I don't see any girl just pursuing this field in
and of this quality, the quality of content that she is creating. So that is the thing. Nice. A lot of people will just turn on the camera and this was my experience for 2 minutes. That is what I was facing when I was preparing for this Baba Atomic Research Center interview that I cracked in 2017. Like I was not getting solid content, the kind of content that you are creating, the detailed one, 10 tips of this and all the correct path, which is unfiltered, like unadulterated, the crisp content. So I also started the YouTube channel to fill a hole that this is not available right now. Just like you said that this kind of guidance is not available, you can start. So that is good that what you have done, and haters are always going to be over there. So Dana White is the this president of UFC, I think, the one who manages the whole Ultimate Fighting Championship. It is the biggest league when it comes to this sport, right? So he said that no matter where you reach, you're always going to find haters. It does not matter. So when you win also, then also you're going to see the same thing happening.
Like your luck happened and you just won by that chance. So people will be saying like that. So I think like a lot of time you'll be uploading the video and there'll be 3 to 4 dislikes. Like the moment you will post the video, there'll be 3 to 4 dislikes. Like you can see what kind of haters they are. They are not haters, they are jealous.
They're jealous.
I like that. It rhymes also.
Alright, but above all, having a YouTube channel gives a sense of how people really work. Like there are going to be people who really admire you. There are going to be people who hate you no matter what. This is how the world works. And the online world has shown us that in the best manner possible.
I think one thing that I remember is someone told me this, that no matter how the world is reacting to it, the only thing that you can control is what you do and how you do things. And I think YouTube gives that sense of independence and control to me, that I have a camera and I can say whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. So this is entirely my thing. I can, in modeling and in pageantry, it's not the same. You don't have this whole, like you don't control the whole thing, right? There are so many things outside of your control. And I think as a person, I've always been that person who needs like everything to be perfect and everything should be according to my way. I'm a control freak sometimes, and YouTube allows me to do that. So I love that about my job, that I decide the content, I decide the frame, the filming, what schedule I have, everything. And this is something I really wanted to put out to the audience. And then there are haters, but there are like thousands of other people who leave such nice comments also. So it keeps you going.
So YouTube gives you the platform to tolerate the hate and the criticism. How to take it in best way. I think YouTube teaches you that in best
Komal
way.
also initially used to get very frustrated.
I used to freak out. Like, how can you say something to that one? You should be nice to other. At least I'm trying. At least I'm giving my 100%. You can't be that and you can't be this. I used to brag, and like after just putting my net on off mode, I'm just telling Ashish, how can that person say that to me? I'm not like, I'm being genuine over over there and they are not appreciating my efforts. But now I'm completely chill. I don't react.
Yeah, so when I started my YouTube channel back in 2017 only, so I was getting a lot of hate and I thought that, I'm not a much likable person. But when she came on YouTube and she started to get hate, then I really understood, okay, this world is like this only. Everyone gets. So people who are over here watching this, maybe you're starting a YouTube channel, getting a hate, understand if Nikita is getting hate, anyone can get it. All right.
Yeah, Ashish was telling me before I started my YouTube channel, Nikita, he was telling me, Komal, you can't get hate. You're not that kind of person. You're likable. Everybody will like you. And the first time I got, I recorded my podcast with him, there were so many hate messages and it got saturated after time and it got decreased after that.
Be some creative.
Yeah.
Same old.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have one question for Nikita. Nikita, so what was your preparation time was like when you was preparing for this Miss India? So how did you prepare and what was preparation was like? Did you plan and what was the structure? And apart from that, how did you handle your modeling simultaneously?
It was hectic, honestly. I think if I have to give a time frame, it would be I practiced and prepared for Miss India, say for a year before I went. So 2018. Hello?
What happened?
Oh, is Komal frozen?
We are able to.
Oh, okay. I thought Komal had frozen.
Maybe there was okay, you did like stone face like that.
Okay, I'm listening. That.
We need to be like this only.
Okay, yes.
She was so still.
No, I was listening to her so carefully and so nicely. I don't want to miss out on any point because I'm also getting lessons. I'm also getting teachings for you.
Yeah. There's like free class we are taking. By the way, Nikita is also running some workshops also. Yeah. We were thinking, I was saying, Komal, please join that because you are going to learn a lot of things. This is one free workshop you guys are getting.
Yeah.
Nikita, please continue.
So as I was saying, I prepared for a year beforehand and that included me going to Cocoberry twice in that 1 year. So in November 2018, yes. And as well as January of 2019, I went to Cocoberry twice just to groom myself and make sure that I'm ready for the auditions. My walk is on point and all of that. I also spent a lot of time in the gym. I think Alicia ma'am herself, I remember when I went in November and when I went back in January, she told me you've been working on your body a lot. I can see the difference. So in 2 months, I had gained a lot of muscle. And as I mentioned earlier, I was a very skinny kid in college. So I gained 10 kilos just to look fit enough to be in Miss India. And so I think that 1 year was me, physical fitness, ramp walk, your communication skills, your confidence on stage and on camera. So one thing that TGPC helped with was, since it's an online pageant, I got so used to speaking in front of a camera because you had to submit videos for everything. And that came in really handy when I went to Miss India because, for sponsors, for everything, they'll just put a camera in front of you and they want video bites of everything. So I was already very comfortable talking in front of a camera. I think that's how YouTube also happened. I was already doing that for the last 2 years. And I think so that's how I prepared. And what was your other part of the question? I lost track of the question.
Yeah, apart from that, how did you handle the modeling? Simultaneously?
To be honest, 2-3 months before the finale of Miss India, I had to put modeling on the back seat because it was not possible for me to be doing my full-time job Monday to Friday and prepare for the pageant and also take out time for photo shoots. So I did have to avoid and reject a few photo shoots. But other than that, it's possible because the other thing is, once you're doing all of that, you'd also need pictures to put out on social media. So it's a part of the preparation.
Yeah.
You can't really ignore it completely. But yes, it did affect a few things. I had to say no to certain shoots because I had to go and prepare, say, my Cox and Kings video or my BWAP video. And so those things do take some time off.
Okay. So when did you start your project? Basically, what was the time?
So I did not want to, make it look like it's a brand new thing that I've started. So besides women's safety, adoption is something that I also feel very strongly about.
Yeah.
And so ever since I was in Hyderabad, I used to visit this orphanage, which was say 5-10 kilometers from my place. And I was visiting them just say on Diwali, on Rakhi and, I actually noticed once that the girls at the orphanage were not getting sanitary napkins. They used to use those cloths material. So I went and gave the whole orphanage a bunch of sanitary pads. And so like these were things that I was anyway doing. But the truth is, for Miss India, Beauty with a Purpose, you have to make it like a project. So I was not making it a project. I was just doing it on the weekend. And so that is where I incorporated teaching self-defense to the same girls at the orphanage. That is how I brought those two things together. So it was something that I was already doing because I was in touch with the orphanage.
Yeah.
And my self-defense experience from college is what I brought in. And so in 2018 only, while I was in TGPC, I had started talking about participating in Miss India. And so the TGPC mentors told me that you will have to show statistics and show numbers. That is how a project is built. And so I started working on it in 2018. When I realized that it would have to be an official thing, there was so much time that went into the logo designing, making a whole PPT about it. And I remember I was one of those contestants in TGPC also. We have a analogous subtitle, say Miss Golden Heart, which is a very similar thing to BWAP. So TGPC also asks you to show a project that you've been working on. And I've always felt this, and I still do, that if you're doing something for, say, community welfare, you should not put it out.
Yeah.
That is how I used to think.
Yeah.
Because that becomes like you're...
Same here.
you're talking about it. So that's, it's, I don't know, it kind of ruins it for me. What I've learned from pageants is, so I'll tell you a story. The first time I went to the orphanage, the first time ever, the first girl that I met there, the first thing she asked me was, why are you here? Is it your birthday? And I was so hurt because a 7-year-old kid understands that I kept visiting right after, like every few weekends. So I saw that office ke log aate the because CSR and everything, and that used to keep happening. Even the kids know that nobody comes there without a purpose. So when the girl asked me this question, for a 7-year-old to have that understanding that people don't come there without any reason, it actually hurts. So, and that was my reason. So I went back to TGPC and I said, you know what? This girl has asked me this. Now, if I make a project video about this, they are going to think that since 1 year she has been visiting us for this reason. And wo sare pe pani ho jayega. And I don't want the kids to feel like that. So I was not willing to submit a project at all. And then this is what TGPC actually taught me, that instead of thinking that me talking about my welfare work or anything degrades it, think about the kind of platform that you are giving, like being given. And so when you talk about such causes on, say, the TGPC platform or Miss India platform, what I realized when I started speaking about it in social media, other people who were also interested messaged me, and they also started going to the orphanage and also started making contributions. So it had a positive impact overall, even though I felt very uncomfortable doing it the first time. So that's how I learned how to, approach the BWAP projects.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So you obviously the purpose has been served, but you still continue to work on that in future also.
So the original plan was to expand Project Shield in Andhra also. But so we do like some sessions here and there with family friends because it's difficult to have a long-term association is what I've realized. Not everyone is equally invested in the project as you are sometimes. And so like the people who are on board keep changing. So that hampers the consistency of the project, but we still have sessions where we, sometimes, so before lockdown, we were doing this, like we would go to offices and show them self-defense, because why just orphanages? Women's safety is for everyone. Yeah, so we did a few sessions because I was in Oracle, so that helped. So we did a session in Oracle also, and then a few other companies. And so that is how we're planning on keeping it. Maybe if I've moved to Bangalore, we would try to find a community there also who's interested in that.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people over here now.
Amazing.
And also, I forget a lot of things. But I'm really bad at that.
I can ask the question. So Nikita, how was when the pageant was approaching? So what was your feeling? How did you handle with the pressure and maybe negativity? With social media everywhere, you can see a lot of competitors are there. You may be comparing yourself. Maybe you may be comparing yourself to them. And then how did you handle all these things?
I just made it through, I think. I had my days where I compared myself to someone else. I had my own set of myths that I used to believe in. This matters in pageants. This is given importance. This will not make me win. This will make me win. But I think in the end, you just have to get through it. I mean, I was a mess. I was very stressed. In hindsight, I wish I had enjoyed it more. All the previous winners have told us this, just enjoy the process, do not stress so much because it does affect your performance. And I think I would advise the same thing. Now, in hindsight, I understand. So any future pageant if I go to, now I know that don't go into pageants with the mindset, I have to win it, because that's where you lose it. Because a lot of girls, the mistake that they make is, because it's a beauty pageant, they are not going to say that if you don't win, you're not beautiful. A lot of girls take that stress. So that is not what you should do. And even in my workshops, I tell all my students this, that go into a beauty pageant and just try to make the most of, till whatever stage you go, national, state, city, whatever, make the most of the platform that you are given and try to, capitalize on the exposure that you're getting, because that is how you'll get more modeling assignments and everything. That should be your goal. The goal should not be, I have to win. Because if you run after a certain goal, it doesn't seem to work in beauty pageants, because not everything is in your control. You will have to, remember that it's still a business, and show business has a lot of other factors.
That is what Komal generally also says, that see, good time or bad time, it will pass, but later you will regret that you did not enjoy when you were in the moment, right? And I finally do remember what I was saying. I was over there trying to say that now you have a YouTube following also. So using that community also, whoever wants to help, you can get those people who are very interested. Right? All right. You have any questions? Shall I go?
Yeah. You want to ask, you can go ahead.
So I was asking, like you mentioned that diet and health when you were trying to compete. Can you put some light on that? Like, what is the proper diet, healthy
and workouts,
diet?
maybe.
I can tell what I did, but I don't think it would work the same way for everyone. So
that is true. That is true.
I think a lot of people ask me, how do you lose weight and get in shape? See, I did not even do that. I had to gain 10 kilos, as I mentioned. So I have the type of body type where if I don't work out, I lose weight. So I have to work out to gain muscle and keep myself at an ideal body weight. Otherwise, I become underweight. And so I just had a lot of protein. Actually, I started taking protein shakes during the 1 year before Miss India preparation. So that really helped me, and just regular working out, I think. I did not starve myself or anything, but I just made sure that I did not eat too much sugar. I think that's the only thing I do even right now. I've never done any diet in my life. Like none of those keto or crash diets or anything. I just make sure I have low sugar, avoid dairy if you can, and have a lot of protein. That's all I do. And then I eat everything and I work out a lot.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, what does your protein shake comprise of?
Protein scoops.
Powder? Yeah. Okay, powder. Do you take whey protein?
I used to. Now I've stopped completely. But I used to. There was 2 years in between when I was trying to be in really good shape for the pageant. So that time I used to take whey protein. But then I just, it wasn't tasting good. It was something I had to just swallow somehow. So I stopped it afterwards.
So that way it means, like in modeling, obviously we have to just say this is the harsh reality. More skinnier you are, more exposure you'll get. This is the reality, right?
No.
Like where you are having like just skinny legs and just you are just
I don't think skinny is the right word actually. I think you just have to be in good shape.
Like if I talk about like this international modeling and all, you'll see models maybe underweight. You can see that their weight should be between 90 lbs to this 120 lbs, and that is kind of underweight for the height they are having. Obviously they are underweight, they are starving, they are on diet before 2 or 3 weeks of their shoot or any kind of thing. So obviously that kind of restrictions are there. But in pageant, as you said, you have to be between the range of correct weight according to the height and proportion of your body. Is it?
Actually, no. There is no such rule about what should be your weight at all, actually. I think, see, for Miss India, there is no, say, swimsuit round in Miss India. So, you don't have to have a bikini body. But if you go for Miss Diva, which has a swimsuit round, if you're going to be walking in a swimsuit on stage and you expect to win the pageant and you are representing a healthy body image, then you will have to have a good body. It's not saying be like Victoria's Secret thin. That's not pageant. That's not something pageants ever ask for. I think you just have, everyone has a different body type as long as you're healthy. So don't be anorexic, but you don't have to be in a certain weight range either, because everybody had different BMIs. Everybody had different weights.
Yeah, but you said no, you gained certain amount of weight.
Yes, because...
So, was it something because of pageant or you wanted it for yourself?
I was preparing for the pageant and I noticed that, see, at my height, if I was 45 or 46 kilos, that was too skinny. So any evening gown or any lehenga would not look good on me. So I gained...
Proportion is important.
Yeah. So I just gained weight because even if I was not modeling or doing pageantry, I would still have done it. But it's just that I had a timeline because of the pageant. That's all.
Yeah.
I would do that anyway.
Yeah. What is your height, Nikita? I don't know about that.
I am 5'7.5".
Oh.
All right, that is good.
Yeah.
And other than that, about the workouts, what did you do?
I just follow a lot of YouTubers, honestly, and I follow their challenges. So if someone has a 21-day challenge going on, I follow it. And I keep switching between yoga also. Like for a month, I followed like a yoga routine. So I keep changing. I go for Pilates sometimes. I used to go for boxing. So I've always kept like a variety of things going on for me. I don't like to stick to a certain routine. It gets very boring for me.
All right. Boxing is something that a lot of models are getting into these days, right?
Yeah.
Because it does help to get in shape,
It's
right?
great cardio.
Yeah.
The only issue with modeling, boxing is that you
Knuckles.
cannot have nail extensions and do boxing. That is something I've learned.
Yeah. That is what I told her also. because
Yeah,
it
he
will
always asks me
purge
to cut
into
my
this.
nails. I can't do that.
Yeah, but if you have gloves, then it is not an issue.
No,
right?
even inside the gloves. That's how I learned it the hard way when I broke a nail. So that boxing instructor told me that because we keep extensions, right, during pageants a lot. And so I was having extensions on my nails and I wore the boxing glove and went boxing. And you can't do it. You're supposed to have short nails. So those two things were not happening simultaneously.
Also, sometimes your knuckles might get a little bit bruised up, especially when you're hitting bags and all, if you're doing heavy.
Yeah. So you have to take care of that. You can't be injured. You can't have bruises. How much makeup will you apply?
Yeah, there are a lot of shoots in which they especially ask your hands and all, right?
For jewelry shoots, if they are more precise for your hand or neck or like that. So it happens like that.
So Nikita, what I do most of my time, or what my main agenda is, that I teach people about how to become better in communication. That is my main gig, and I really admire your way of speaking. So obviously when you were competing, you were definitely working on that. You did mention that as well. So how do you improve your communication skills? How you improve your speaking skills and all that?
Or was it like that only since the origin?
No,
only?
she definitely worked on that.
I think since you coach people on this, you would have a better answer. I honestly don't have any secrets. See, a lot of people have asked me, number one is, how do you get fluent in English? That was a question that I was getting a lot on my channel. Yeah. But I think I'm just lucky that way because I learned English before I learned Hindi because I was brought up in America. So I remember that even right now I'm more comfortable in English than Hindi. So I just speak in Hindi when I have to speak to my family. Other than that, I'm always speaking in English. So it was never a problem for me. I didn't have to learn English. That is my mother tongue before Hindi. And the other thing is about speaking on camera. Then I think it's just practice, because even if I look at my own videos, say from a year ago or 2 years ago, I can see I was not always talking like this. There's been a lot of change in the way I speak. And voice modulation, and these are things that you are also taught actually during pageant grooming sessions as well, that you have to enunciate well and that you have to give pauses at certain places. I think theater also taught me a lot about communication skills, because you have to, like your energy has to bounce off the audience, so you have to speak the way your co-actor is speaking or based on the audience's reaction. So I think theater, speaking on camera, just a lot of practice, and talking in front of the mirror, that also helped me a lot. So before I actually ever uploaded my first YouTube video, there were like 10 demo videos, which I just took in my webcam. So I never showed those videos to anyone, but that was me just trying to speak. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Nobody speaks like that in daily life, right? So you have to practice it and get it out, I say. So I think, just a lot of practice. You tell us.
So that is what I'm looking for. So basically, it is always good to have a second perspective, right? So I ask this question to anyone who is having a good fluency so that I also learn a little bit. So you said that yes, you were born and raised initially in the States, and that was your first language. But see, when it comes to communication, your mother tongue does not really matter, because there's a lot of things, like you said, the way that you explain, the pauses that you have to take, that will amplify the impact that you create on the audience. Those things are very important, and I know that those things are taught when you go for the pageant trainings and all, and that is what I was looking for. So when you take pauses, can you put some light over there of how important they are?
Or is it automatically instilled in you?
I do think it's not something I consciously think about, but I think the way I speak is the way I think. And the way I think, before I ever speak about certain things, I journal a lot. I talk about this a lot on my channel, actually. And I think, so whenever someone has asked me something, more often than not, the question is something that I've already thought about. And so whatever I'm saying, मैंने कुछ time पहले अपने journal में लिखा होगा. And if you've written the things down, so you already have a set of words in your head. And so it just becomes easier to articulate, I think. So journaling also helps a lot. And pauses, I honestly don't think about it.
That is what I'm trying to scrape out. I'm trying to scrape information out of you. So you brought a very good point. See, what I generally say is that when it stays in your head, it is all mixed up. It is like mixture of a lot of chemicals. But when you speak up or when you write, it comes out in a structured manner of how you're going to explain things. So that also helps, ladies and gentlemen. You can use that.
I also worked on my communication skills. They were very bad initially, you know. Very bad.
Not very bad. Now, people over here who can go and listen to the first part, it was not that bad. Yes, obviously, room of improvement is there.
Okay, according to my level, it was bad. Let's do it in that manner. Because I belong to a background, because I belong to Haryana. And there people struggle to speak in Hindi, pure Hindi also. Just forget about English, you know. And to work on that, it just took me years, you know. So I went to Delhi University, I saw people that they are speaking so fluent, and I always had this inclination towards English. I don't know, maybe most of girls have that. I don't know why.
Yes.
But I also had that. I used to excel in English every time in school also. So
my sister
I
used to
that.
compete with me all the time. She used to show that I'm better when it comes to speaking in English.
No. For me, it was not like that. For me, I wanted to be as fluent. I remember there was one person in my class in first year. He was son of journalist, some top leading journalist of India. So he used to speak like just smooth, like smooth eyes. He used to speak like that. I'm like mesmerized. I always hesitated to talk to him because he was a guy who used to speak in English mostly. And I'm like, okay, I should not talk to him. I should not talk to him. Otherwise, he'll make fun of him. But he was not like that. I used to think like that. But then I worked on it, and slowly and gradually I improved on it. I'm happy the way I am today now.
I think even the people around you make a difference.
All right. Yeah. So we can continue on talking forever, but at some point we'll have to end this podcast.
No. I want the most crucial points we didn't discuss.
All right, you please go ahead if you have a question.
Those 40 days of Miss India, how was it like, and how did you prepare for that? They are the most crucial part.
Yes, please go ahead. I cannot miss that out. I did not know about that.
No, they are the most crucial part.
If you have time, Nikita, because that is also...
If you're not
I think I've spoken about that in so much detail. Like, I have 3 videos on my channel talking about my Miss India experience. Yeah. So, if someone wants a lot of detail, they can actually go and watch those videos. Just in brief, I think in those 40 days, I think you just do a lot of... there's a lot of photo shoots. You are constantly traveling on the go with the team, with 29 other contestants that I had along with me. We did a lot of sponsor shoots and sponsor sessions and sponsor visits. So it just shows you, I think a lot of people don't know this. They think that maybe sometimes 40 days you're being groomed. No, you're not being groomed. You are already groomed. That is where you come and understand the responsibilities of a beauty pageant winner. So as a title holder, you are going to be representing the organization. So you constantly have to be like an influencer of sorts, right? So going and talking at different sponsor stores, how you interact with people there. Are you inspiring enough when you talk to, say, any person that you meet who is not from the pageant field? How can you inspire them, the way you speak to them? In interviews, you will be asked certain questions. So there are interviews with the national panel and then the international pageant panel as well. Other than that, you also have to have a good model face, because again, you will be on the banners and you'll be on so many boards and hoardings. So you also need to know how to be a good model. Are you photogenic enough? So there are a lot of like subtitles also that come into the picture. Do you have a good walk? Because they would expect the title holder to be walking in Lakme Fashion Week. So you need to have all those skills and qualities, plus you need to have good communication skills. And so they're constantly giving you tasks which test out all those skills and abilities in you. And based on that, they're constantly like observing all the 30 contestants in that 40-day period. And based on that, the winner is decided. Like obviously in the question and answer on stage as well. But I think even before that, a lot of people ask me, and like obviously it's not just that one moment alone. The team has, because from 30 you go to top 15. So that is based on something that they must have been, observing throughout that 40-day period. So you're put in every situation possible, and then the organization tries to figure out which of these girls would handle it best and who can we trust with, giving our pura organization ka reputation. You're handling, like you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. And also you will be representing India if you win. So how would you be interacting with people there at formal dinner parties, for instance? Can you hold a conversation? Are you interesting enough? Are you memorable enough?
Yeah.
These things come into picture.
Yeah. So
all right.
that was a hell lot of information.
Stay of 5 minutes.
Summary.
You gave a lot of information in a concise manner. Yes, Komal, you have any other questions?
Yeah, just one last question, Nikita. I think a lot of people must be having. How did you prepare for interview round? Like, was it additional resources or you just stick to your communication skill and you just went on like that? You sorted out your thoughts. Is it like that? How did you prepare?
I definitely prepared. I mean, it's not like I just turned up being myself.
Yeah.
See, the essence of my answers would still be what I think. But I think in the interview round, you have to brush up your current affairs.
Yeah.
You have to feel confident, be confident in front of a panel. So it's really helpful to have mock interviews with your own friends.
Yeah.
And also I think there is a set of expected pageant questions. If some common, like say in 2019, the Me Too movement was going on. Yeah. So I read up a lot on the Me Too movement. Yeah. You should know what it is about. You should be able to talk about topics.
Yeah.
As a title holder, you can't say I'm not aware of this.
Yeah.
So you need to have all of that information ready.
Yeah.
And also I was reading a lot of books. I think that helps in articulation.
Yeah.
So if I want to speak about adoption, if I want to be able to speak about my project, it's not just that I'll read up just about that. I will read up anything and everything related to it.
Yeah.
So that when someone is talking to me, I shouldn't just be able to answer a question. I should be able to hold a conversation around it. Yeah. I can go on that topic for 30 minutes. Yeah. But in an interview, all of that will come into like say 5 minutes.
Okay, Nikita, the final question, and then we'll end this beautiful session. Obviously, it can go on for days, but here's a question. There's an 18-year-old girl who wants to get into the career of modeling. What suggestion do you give her?
First of all, it's possible, no matter what anyone tells you. I think that's something that a lot of 18-year-olds are facing in the country right now. Families are not supportive. I've seen that in so many families and households. It is possible. Just keep working towards it and don't give up on your dreams just because somebody tells you that it's not going to happen or that you lack the support for it right now. It's possible to make things happen on your own. You don't always need your family to back you or support you. Believe in your own capabilities and then just try to be someone that 18-year-old you would be proud of, say, 5 or 10 years down the line. That should be your efforts.
All right. So let us say the parents is not supportive. Then you'll obviously tell that girl that first you have to become self-independent, right? That would be the first step.
Yeah.
What is the first step into modeling career?
That's a very good question, actually.
Portfolio?
Getting a portfolio, I would say, is the most common approach. But I did not get a portfolio when I started modeling. And most people have this question because, see, like any other job, there's a set exam that you have to give. You pass this, then you crack that interview and you get the job. Modeling is not like that. Everybody comes into modeling from different paths. Somebody was a photographer, somebody was an assistant director, somebody was a makeup artist who became a model, somebody else was doing something, then they came into modeling. So I think just get into the field, get to know people. If you think that being in another role, getting some other experience would work for you, do that. If you have the money to go get a portfolio done, do that. Apply to an agency. If not, just get photographers to take your pictures. There are a lot of freelance photographers these days who are looking for models to build their portfolio. Try modeling for them. So you'll get some experience. Maybe you'll just start getting modeling assignment based on those pictures alone. And then once you have collected enough money to get a portfolio made, then get a portfolio made. That's what I did. I did not want to pay like say 40K, 50K. Portfolios are expensive. And the thing is, if you don't have any experience posing in front of a camera before, and that's the first time you're posing and you're paying so much money for it, it's a scary thought. So what I did is I asked friends of mine who were photographers to help me out. And they came and helped me practice posing in front of a camera. And I started getting shoots with designers after that. I didn't ever have to pay for a portfolio. But then later I did get a portfolio made, because by that time I had just known enough people that I never had to pay that full cost. So your portfolio happened because of the work you did. Essay. So there are different avenues towards it. Just try to find a lot of information. Yes. Social media is such a beautiful thing to help you get into modeling. I think that did not exist 5 years earlier, but there's so much that you can learn. Find out photographers, find out other models, talk to them, message them, do everything that you can think of. Somebody will reply, something will open up. That is like the hard work part of the manifestation.
Yeah. In the art domain, like if you are an artist, just like modeling or any other field as well, there's no fixed pathway. Yeah. So you'll have to create and construct your own pathway. You need more guidance, please go to her channel. I'll put the link down in the description box. I'm sure that you'll not be disappointed. A lot of good content over there. Thank you, Nikita. Your story is very inspiring. Your hard work is inspiring. Your knowledge very enlightening. And we had a good time. There are a lot of questions honestly right now going in my head, right now going in Komal's head. But we shall do it some other time. Maybe next time we are going to have an offline podcast when you're here in Bangalore.
Yes.
Definitely. I can't wait to meet you guys. And thank you so much for having me on this channel, on this episode. I enjoy talking to you guys so much. And it's just
nice. Feel like you're talking.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like you're talking for first time.
It didn't actually. And we had like so many insights. I learned so much from you. And I loved all the topics that we covered in today's conversation. And I had a lot of fun just doing this.
Likewise, we enjoyed it, and definitely we are going to do it again.
Yes.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure if you did not, why would you stick to a podcast hour long? Alright guys, that's about it. Thank you for being over here, tuning with Torq Fire Podcast. The audio versions are available in all the audio platforms. And see you again next week. As you know, Torq Fire Podcast is a weekly podcast. See you next week. Bye bye.
Till then, bye bye. Take care and keep smiling. Bye.
Bye guys.